Yeah. Hello everyone once again. In this session, now I will show you a demo of how I generate the questions, and then just one extra question we'll add it. Okay. Uh, Everything starts from this particular program, and here I set the number of question papers. Now let's make it only two. Why two? Make it five. Well, let's go it for more, and I save it, and then I execute it. So I'll get five question papers now. So let's try to get a view of this particular folder. So here you can start seeing the questions being generated. So, one question one of the students was asking is how this PDF is generated, from where the questions are coming, from where the values are coming, and all these things. So that is what that program is doing. I'll just briefly discuss that. Um, okay, so I think this execution completed. So let's look at this folder. So now I have. By the way, I should delete all the other files, but anyway. So this is the. I'm opening both. So okay. So the questions order did not change, but just the values are changed. No, remember earlier it was 150. Now it is 200. So just that is just a matter of this thing. And I have the solution also. So this file, the second file, okay, has the solution. Okay, so uh, what you have to do is basically calculate the resistance of each bulb. Okay, so because the power and voltage are given, so I can find the V square by P is the resistance of the first bulb, and resistance of the second bulb, and then total resistance will be something like this, 194.5, and that's what is the total resistance offered by the combination calculated up to 3 decimal. Anyway, I did only one because others are zeros anyway. So that is the question. Okay. So whereas if you look at this one, only it will have the question and it will not have the answer. Okay. Anyway, so now if I go back and then since we generated five papers, let's go to some other paper. Okay. So here you can notice that the first section is induction motor. Okay, so but anyway, the same question will repeat later in the DC. What is the DC circuit section? So here again, you can see 11th question. We got different values again, 200 watts and 110, and then something different. Okay, so again, if I open the solution of that, I think this one. So go to the 11th question. So here it is having a different answer, 125.58. Okay. So how did we do this? Okay, so that was the question. So let's see how we did this. In fact, we'll do it right away. So let's go back to our video that you saw in the beginning. Uh, let's see. So this is the video you saw in the beginning, right? Uh, and we have this circuit. Okay. So I will, for our reference, I will draw the circuit on the board. So we'll go step by step. So there is one resistance here, and then this is not there. Then we have another resistance here, and then another resistance here, and then I'm sorry, here one more, and here one more, like this. So A, B, C, D. So now, in order to, I mean, this diagram should appear in the question paper. Okay, and then the values can change. Instead of 220, 820, whatever, I can randomly change the values. Okay? So let's make this diagram appear in the question paper. Okay, so let's do that. So for that, I mean I did this last year, so I have to again refer to my code, what how to add questions and all. So anyway, so this. By the way, at this point, I have to tell one more point. So you can go to YouTube. So there is a playlist called creating customized exams. So I'll just open this playlist. So here you can see tutorial on creating customized exam papers. So your question how to create this, already I answered it. So introduction, steps in creating exam with single question, just one question. Then creating question with DC circuit diagram. Then adding two questions on AC circuit. Then like that, adding two more questions on so different sections, and then finally creating multiple exam files. Up to here, it was only one exam file. So, but now how to create multiple, then creating coded. So up to here was just a common question paper. Everybody gets the same numbers. Then how to create a coded paper and then headings, shuffling the sections. So first this is second that sections how to shuffle, and then organization, and then adding questions to sections, creating parameterized questions, adding new question to a section. So all these things already I've explained. Okay? So uh, now the same thing, I'll just do it like a demo now here. Okay, so anyway, so that is the reason why I will not explain the what you call code in detail. This all code also explained, okay, in that this thing. So what I could remember or what I could see here. Okay, so let's. Okay, so there is a one for loop here, right? Number of papers. Okay, so this outside for loop is taking care of creating number of question papers. Okay? So that is not our concern right now, because my concern is to add one question to the 40. Okay? So this outside for loop is not my worry. So here it is creating all these things. Okay. Okay. So here you can see sections are being shuffled. Okay, that is also fine. Now for Y in section. Okay. So here Y in section means for each section it is creating. Okay. 10 questions from one section, 10 question other section, 10 question other section, like that. Okay. So now here I have to take a decision. This particular question comes in which section? Do I put it in transformer section, or do I put it in AC machines section, or whatever? Appropriately, this will come in the DC circuits section. Okay, so like that. Then okay, I'm just looking at this. So what is the CO I want to see? Okay, this is sections. That is fine. TO is concept. I think. Yeah. So now I got the idea. So let's go back. I'm sorry. So I go to one folder called question bank. Okay. So there are a lot of questions kind of things are there in this. In fact, I asked the students also to contribute questions. So for example, here you can see Arti 2. So one student named Arti has contributed that question. By the way, that was same student was in the course also. So I said, if you contribute questions for your exam, you can solve them easily. So that way. So some of them contributed, some of them have done myself. Okay, so let's copy one of these things. So maybe something which looks like DC. Okay, bulb. You remember that bulb question was there? So I think this one. Okay. So there are two files. I'll just copy bulb.txt. Okay. I'll just say copy. and then paste, and then I will rename this. So instead of bulb, we'll say RESISTIVE resistive network. Okay. So let's open that. So I can open it in any editor. So, but looks like it got opened here. Okay, so I'll just open with Notepad. Okay. So word graph, I'll this one. Uh, Maybe I increase the zoom. So remember the question that you saw in the PDF is like this. Okay? So you see here dash dash P1 and dash dash. Okay? So here I'm actually not giving the value. I'm not saying 200, 300 or 400, whatever. I'm just giving a variable kind of thing. So later on that will get replaced. Okay? So let me create my own question. Okay? So a circuit has how many resistances? So one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, six as follows. Okay, so maybe I mean just say P1. Actually, I'm not. I'm supposed to give the values, but then let's see what happens. Okay, I have only these four values here, so let's not worry about it now. Now, solution, I'll just keep it empty. Oh, by the way, this omega is a resistance symbol, so I'll keep it. And then I'll just simply say this is the solution. Okay, so this I have created a question and I have created a solution. So obviously, the question is not a proper question, but it's a question. Now I want this question to be recognized by the program. Okay, so I'll close this. See here it is saying resistive network.tex. Okay, so somewhere I have to mention that. Okay. Meanwhile, there was another file with bulb, right? Where is that bulb? Here, JSON. Okay. How many of you know full form of JSON? JSON, JavaScript object notification or notation or something like that. JSON, JavaScript object notification. And the JSON object looks like this. So a JSON object is between curly brackets. So you can see top curly bracket is opening here. So so a curly bracket opens at the top, and then if I go to the last line, the curly bracket should be closing. So, and then there is a curly bracket closing here if you can see, and then there is a square bracket. This is basically a list. Okay, uh, so what I have done is actually for that other question. So let me explain like this. So if the bulb B1 having power of 200 and voltage of 110, bulb B2 having power of 280 voltage of 135, then the resistance of the first bulb will be 65 and sorry 60.5, and the resistance of the second bulb will be this one, and the total resistance will be this one. This is our final answer. Okay. So I have all the parameters with me. I have the input parameters and I also have the output parameters. So how did I get this? This I can anyway generate it. No, I can solve it in Excel and finally I can generate this thing. In fact, the names are also there at the top. If you see, so P1, V1, P2, V2. So these were the names I was using in the question. Okay, so that means, and then R1, R2 could be the resistance of the first bulb, resistance of the second, and RT meant the total resistance. So that is how the parameters are there basically. So now I will save as this one and then call it with the same name. Okay, so looks like I have to use the same name. Resistive network dot JSON. Okay, so I saved it. Next, I have to add this somewhere. So I think that should be done in the sections or somewhere. Okay, so let's see. So DC circuit. So DC circuit has how many questions? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions are there in the DC circuits folder. Okay, so I want to create a 11th question. So I'll again take this bulb.json and then paste it and then I rename it. So R network, something, I think rename. And then I'll just so here some concept ID is given, and then some concept is given, and then what are the questions are given. So this the first two I'll ignore. So maybe just to avoid something, I will say 99 or something like that. I don't care. And then calculate. Okay, this is just like a description. Effective resistance of a network. So now here is the question I have to give. Okay, so what was the question? Resistive network. That was the name I had given. So I think now I have done everything. So let's go back to our main folder. Okay. Let's remove all the old files. And let's make it only two papers. And then let's run this. So you're following what I'm doing, right? So it's not very difficult. It's just that since you're directly entering into the middle of the thing, uh, you have to accept what was there before, and then just by changing, following the steps from here, you can generate. So now, okay, so it is done. So let's look at the folder. So we got four files, two question papers and two answer papers. So let's open one question paper. Okay, so first section, second section, third section looks like fourth section is the DC circuits, and then our question might have come somewhere. Where is our question? Mm, yes. So question number 39. So it happened to come out at question number 39 position. So a circuit has six resistances as follows. Okay. 200, 120, whatever, like this. So now we are doing some progress, right? By the way, these values come from 200, 120, 260, 140. They are randomly generated because uh, in my program or in my question, where was that? I think I closed it. Okay. So now we are progressing. Where is that? Yeah, this one. So here I am only given P1, V1, P2, V2, but then these were taken from the other lot of values I shown, right, from there. Okay. So now to make it complete, okay, In fact, to interest of time, we just have 2 minutes. So what I will do, I'll take it like four resistances. So R1, R2, R3, and R4. A circuit has four resistors in parallel. Find effective resistance. Okay, so I'm just converting into not this complicated question. Of course, if you have time, slowly you can draw it on that page. But I'm just doing like this. So I'm giving four resistance values and asking to find the what you call the effective resistance. Okay. So now what are these R1, R2, R3, R4? I can go back to the other file, this file, and here I should make sure that the values below R1, R2. In fact, there is already R1, R2 for the other meaning. So anyway, so this one I will say RA, RB. Now I am only calculating. I am not calculating the final resistance, so that I have to do later. Just I will leave it here. So again, I run this. Okay, so I got the. So now DC section is 4, and then again let's look at. By the way, so here 39th question again is coming as that. So here I think R3 we did not define, so somehow it is coming like this. Otherwise, other values we are getting. Okay. So this looks like now a proper question, except for this R3 value. But a circuit has four resistances. Find the effective resistance. That's a question, right? So this is how we are going to add questions to the database. Okay. So for this, what you need to know is the latex notation. Okay. So the this is how we define the latex notation. I think here one single dash was missing, so now it is there. So you're able to follow what I explained today. So I'll just